What's up, family? Trier here, and we have some breaking news to share with you today. The former president is suing the Department of Justice, the DOJ. Also, we have some good news for Americans, as more than $55 million has just been allocated as some new stimulus checks. We also have some good information about healthcare improvements that will go into effect sometime next year, which in return will cause healthcare costs for employers to actually increase. But last but not least, hey, we have some stimulus checks that are in the mail right now and headed to some Americans. I'm going to explain exactly who will be eligible to receive one of those. But real quick, hey, don't forget how much a simple press of the like button does for this video and for this channel. And also, guys, I'm trying to reach 100,000 subscribers before the end of this year. So if you could help a brother out, yes, if you could, subscribe to the channel right now, and let's go ahead and jump into the video. Well, in breaking news, the former President Donald Trump is now suing the U.S. government over the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago. Yes, the ex-president is seeking to prevent the Bureau from reading seized documents until the court official weighs in on the information. Now, the former President Donald Trump said on Monday that he filed a suit against the U.S. government over the particular search on his home, seeking to temporarily stop the Bureau from reading the particular materials that were confiscated in a special court. Now, he wants a special assessment of the particular documents before the FBI is allowed to actually go through that particular material. And yes, according to The Guardian, which they reported this past Saturday, that Trump's lead attorney, Jim Trusty, and two other sources familiar with the matter said that the suit argues that the court should appoint a special master, usually a retired lawyer or judge, because the FBI potentially seized privileged materials in its search, and the Department of Justice should not itself decide what it can use in its investigation. Now, this particular suit was filed in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida. Also requires the government to provide a more detailed receipt for the property, and it also requires the government to return any item seized that was not within the scope of the search warrant. Now, again, guys, the Mar-a-Lago search that happened on August the 8th was mounted to look for official records and material from Trump's presidency that the National Archives and the DOJ believe was improperly taken from the White House when Trump left office. So again, guys, right now, like I said in the previous video, he is dealing with a lot of legal issues right now, which the most serious issue that he's dealing with says that right here in this particular sentence, it says that it has been reported that the search was carried out under the Espionage Act and that some material sought concerned nuclear weapons, which this is very interesting because some people like the Democrats are believing that he has this particular secret information that he could use in order to protect himself in regards to being tried for his other charges in this country. However, the former President Donald Trump is saying that, look, I declassified all of these documents and I have every right to have them in my possession. But yes, guys, we have two different versions on different sides of the aisle in which we still don't know any information in regards to who is right and who is wrong. However, we do know that the DOJ has seized at least 11 boxes from his estate in Florida in which they believe that this is participation under the Espionage Act, which means these particular documents were pretty much secure clearance and special clearance, and that the president should not have been holding these documents in his possession. Again, guys, this is some breaking news, and as we continue to receive more information about this, I will continue to update you guys as usual. Moving on, guys, hey, Omicron, we know it has been ramping up lately, causing more people to be tested positive for the COVID-19, in which Omicron, we know that it pretty much evades people that have had the vaccinations in the past. However, we do have a Omicron specific COVID booster that could be on its way. Yes, they are saying that these specific COVID booster shots will target specifically Omicron virus. Yes, we could receive these particular booster shots within the coming days. Now, this is some very good information, as we already know the previous vaccinations are doing nothing as far as protecting Americans from contracting the virus. However, we do believe that those that have been vaccinated has been playing a major role as far as making sure that their new symptoms from the new Omicron is pretty much stay mild symptoms. So obviously, guys, that is definitely some good news, and knowing that there is a new booster shot on its way. But I will say that a lot of Americans are really not trusting the CDC as well as these booster shots about any COVID from the past. They are just not trusting it anymore, especially after the information that we found out about these COVID-19 shots as well as these booster shots that we all participated in earlier this year as well as last year. But again, guys, those that are interested in this specific Omicron COVID booster shot, hey, we could get this within the next couple of weeks, guys. So once that happens, I'm sure a lot of people will be registering to have one of these shots at their earliest convenience. But anyways, guys, hey, the Biden and the Harris administration has now invested around $74 million to improve the healthcare for people living in 37 states, which will include Guam and Puerto Rico. Yes, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, or USDA, Rural Development under Secretary Torres Small today announced that the USDA is awarding $74 million in grants to improve healthcare facilities in rural towns across the nation. Now, it says that under the leadership of President Biden, as well as Vice President Harris and Agricultural Secretary, USDA is committed to making sure that people, no matter where they live, have access to high quality and reliable healthcare services like urgent care, primary care, and dental care. Now, the emergency rural healthcare grants being announced today will build, renovate, and equip healthcare provider facilities like hospitals and clinics in rural areas in 37 states. And having sustainable and accessible healthcare infrastructure in rural areas is critical to the health and the well-being of millions of people living in small towns across the nation. So again, guys, this is some awesome news, as those individuals that live in these rural areas really don't have the access that those living in the suburbs have to their exposure. So them providing the $74 million to actually try to improve the particular health care in these rural areas is definitely a positive thing. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, yes, they're saying that this particular thing is called the Emergency Rural Health Care Grants Program, which is offering $74 million to improve of these particular areas. Now, on the flip side, in regards to health care, yes, we just received word that next year, healthcare for employers who pay for it for their employees, yes, their healthcare cost is going to rise about 6.5%. But guys, rest assured, this is not going to happen until next year, 2023. And the researchers found that average cost per employee will reach $13,800 in 2023. This is more than double the 3% increase that employers saw in 2022, but far below the current inflation index, according to Aon. Now, on average, employers budgeted around $13,000 per employee for the 2022 plan year, much like the rest of the industry. Employers saw far lower medical claims costs during the COVID-19 pandemic, which costs returning to more typical growth levels over the past year, and inflation likely to play a role in driving up the costs moving forward. Now, in a statement, it says that in complete contrast over the last decades, we are measuring that healthcare budgets for U.S. employers will come in nearly 3 times lower than the Consumer Price Index this calendar year, said Debbie Ashford, which is the North America Chief Actuary for Health Solutions at Aon. But despite this historic occurrence, employer healthcare costs are expected to increase 6.5% in 2023. And this is due to the economic inflation pressures that we are all receiving right now. So yes, guys, get prepared, be prepared. We already know this is coming, and we have about 4 months until this actually takes effect. But again, guys, hey, insurance costs and everything else is obviously rising at a rapid pace. Moving on, guys, hey, the Secretary of Education, Cardona, they are saying that now the Biden administration will officially announce the decision on student loan payments within the next week or so. Now, guys, we have been waiting on this for a long time, and those individuals that have a lot of student loan debt are begging for the Biden administration, as well as President Biden, to waive all student loan debt in this country, especially for those particular ones that are on federal student loans. And yes, according to the Education Secretary, Miguel Cardona, he said this on Sunday that the Biden administration administration will announce the decision very soon, guys. The deadline, just to remind you guys, is August the 31st. Also, in regards to the waiving of the student loan debt, hey, Larry Summers is saying that the White House should not extend student loan payment pause. Now, this is in regards to what President Biden actually froze all payments during the pandemic, which has happened in March of 2020. And pretty much those individuals that have student loan debts or federal student loans have been able to pause their student loan payments for over 2.5 years. And right here, Larry Summers, which is the U.S. economist, he is speaking on saying that he does not feel that the Biden administration should pause these payments any further. He believes that those individuals that have student loan debt should start to repay those bills right now. So again, guys, what do you think? They are probably still waiting on President Biden to announce whether or not he is going to waive all student loan debt, which personally, guys, I do not feel that he is going to do that. But again, guys, we'll just keep our hopes alive and we'll just have to see exactly what plays out over the next week or so. Now, moving on to some stimulus update news, guys, we do have the state of New Jersey, in which they're participating in a pilot program right now, which could provide $100 monthly payments as far as a gas tax. Yes, guys, it says right here that you can get paid $100 to take part in a pilot program that could be a model for replacing the New Jersey gas tax. Now, it says that with more electric and hybrid vehicles on the road, New Jersey's transportation officials are investigating alternatives to the state gas tax that is used to fund highways, streets, and bridge projects. And New Jersey is asking for around 400 drivers to be in a voluntarily pilot program to record their mileage, the data that the State Department of Transportation officials will use to make decisions about whether or not and how to replace the gas tax with a mileage-based user fee. So again, guys, you could participate in this particular pilot program and receive up to $100 in monthly payments. If you guys are interested, I will include a link to this article down below in the description so that you can check it out in its entirety to find out exactly how you can apply for this pilot program. Again, that is in New Jersey. But moving on, guys, we do have right here that says that Lowe's announces $55 million in bonuses for hourly frontline workers to actually participate in easing the pressures of inflation. It says right here that in recognition of some of the cost pressures that are facing due to high inflation, we are providing an incremental $55 million in bonuses to our hourly frontline associates this quarter. Now, Lowe's, the CEO, Martin Ellison, announced this earlier this week. These associates have the most important job in our company, and we deeply appreciate everything that they do to serve our customers to deliver a best-in-class experience. Though there has been a slight decrease in gas prices and travel costs recently, the impacts of inflation, which hit a 40-year high this summer, are still affecting Americans, making it tougher for families to afford groceries and other essential goods. Microsoft, ExxonMobil, Walmart, USAA, and others have also offered bonuses, pay raises, and even gift cards to their employees to help offset rising costs. But according to a study from the Brookings Institution earlier this year, many of the nation's leading employers are still not paying their workers a living wage. So Lowe's has decided to officially announce about $55 million to offer to approximately around 300,000 associates, according to the company's website. But it has not specified how much money each worker would receive and over what particular time period. So again, guys, we will continue to follow this particular topic to find out exactly how much each associate can receive from this $55 million that is being allocated for its frontline workers. And last but not least, guys, we do have some checks that are in the mail right now. And it says right here that states are continuing to give tax refunds to cushion the inflation in this country. Yes, guys, as a reminder, this month, Colorado taxpayers begin receiving refunds from the state government. Joint filers can receive up to $1,500 and single filers receive around $750. Included was a letter from the Democratic Governor Jared Polis, who noted what the checks were meant to be used for, required under the state constitution, right? He said that, look, these checks will be mailed ahead of schedule and due to a law passed this session to help people cope with the rising prices in this country in regards to inflation. He said in a statement, at a time when inflation is causing increasing in the cost of everyday items, we are committed to getting this money to you as quickly as possible. Now, again, taxpayers in over over a dozen states are getting refunds this year as both Republicans and Democratic state leaders seek to spend down budget surpluses and help residents cope with the inflation. Although some of the refunds are required by decades-old laws that limit the growth of state spending, as in Colorado, governors are still taunting those refunds as inflation relief. So again, guys, like I said, those checks are in the mail right now, so you should be receiving them if you haven't already received them in Colorado. If you are a Colorado taxpayer, again, joint filers up to $1,500 and individual filers around $750. Again, guys, I hope all this information in this video was helpful to you today. Well, anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. But if you enjoyed today's content and you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you like today's video, then go ahead and hit the like button for us. It really helps out this channel, as well as it tells YouTube to share this video with others. But anyways, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.